my brother should demean this platform by turning it into where names are mentioned without, evidence. Secondly, it also appears that it is a thinking within Kenya Kwanza and UDA in specific, where people accusations are made and people are vilified without substance. Yesterday, we saw during the swearing in Uasin Gishu, I think it was in Gishu, when one of the MPs over there were talking down one of the county commissioners over there.
Are you talking about Oscar Sudi?
Yes.
A clip that's been circulating on social media.
Precisely, Oscar Sudi. And even threatening that county commissioner with that he must resign and he will not survive in this government. That type of victimization is precisely what my brother is practicing here. It is something the people of Kenya must be on the lookout on and must act to ensure that it is stopped.
Can you talk to the subject matter of IBC?
Before, you cannot dictate my thought process, and I must also call out what I think is a responsibility on your part as an individual and on your part as a coalition.
You see,
thank you very much.
I'll give you a right of reply.
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kidi.
On the substance, on the question of the credibility of these elections, I must say that there is the case, the famous Maina Kiai case, that now has become a chorus. Everyone is able to now talk about it. Even a fisherman deep down in Lake Victoria knows about Maina Kiai case. The gist of Maina Kiai case was that elections take place at the polling stations, and that the polling officers are therefore the POs are the people presiding over the elections. In regards to these 8 elections, in spite of the differences at the commission, we are looking at having the county returning officers and the constituency returning officers presiding over these elections, ensuring that the will of the people is expressed, and that will of the people, for purposes of communication, and I will agree with my brother that then the commission will, in spite of this difference on the presidential election, in my view, I think they're going to be able to preside over the other 8 elections.
Okay, so you have every confidence.
I have every confidence in the IBC.
So the claims that it was suspicious, that it was in your strongholds, that these elections were postponed?
Now, those are 2 different claims, but let me say different issues, but let me respond to that. The question of voter suppression, Kakamega is Raila Odinga's bedroom, and so is Mombasa. Out of these 6 elections, you realize that the election for the seat of the governor election is possibly one of the reasons, one of the avenues through which you mobilize the voter turnout. Because part of why the wisdom of introducing devolution was that people at the local level are able to take their own affairs, take charge of their affairs in their own hands. And which seat did we introduce to ensure that people at the local level feel represented, feel that they have a government and do not have to rely on the government in Nairobi? It was a seat of the governor. And therefore, the commission, in its wisdom or lack of it, tells us that there was mix-up of ballot papers. But how convenient, again, was it that this mix-up was only in areas, especially where Azimio was enjoying the biggest support, and especially at the governor level, at the county level. And therefore, we see Kakamega and Mombasa. We know that for everyone who was trooping to vote for the governor in Mombasa and in Kakamega, chances are there are people who are going to vote Azimio. And therefore, if they were going to vote for Azimio candidate, they were certainly likely to vote for the Azimio presidential ticket. So when people are told that we will not vote for the governor today in Kakamega and Mombasa, there are many people who then decided that they will not go to the ballot, to the polling booth, but will wait for the opportunity to vote for the governor. And in so doing, they ended up suppressing the votes, the presidential vote in these areas. That is our submission.
All right.